I'm going to show you guys how to put eyes on. So I bought these eye cabochons, that I'm throwing all over the place apparently. I'll leave a link to the shop I got them in down in the box below, and if you're interested, go check them out. They're not affiliated, they're not sponsored or anything like that, so just they've saved my life with clay sculpting, they really have. So now I'm sculpting my original character's dire wolf Molly after my uncle's dog. Sadly is no longer with us. So I'm just going to press this clay in here. Now it is up to you what eye cabochons you get, but I will recommend the ones with the metal posts, because they, in my experience, after this clay has shrunk, they do tend to stick a hell of a lot better. Because with one of my dragons, I actually had to pop them off and do it again with hot glue. So yeah, there was that, which was not ideal obviously, but it's a lesson learned. And for those of you wondering, I do make my own clay. I'll leave a link to the recipe I found. Funnily enough, I found it during lockdown when quite a lot of places were shut. Aside from obviously essential shops, supermarkets, drugstores, pharmacies, you know, it's insane. Now I want Molly to have quite a small snout, not typical of a wolf, but or any form of a wolf, but Molly in real life did have quite a petite kind of nose. But it's also going to get puffed out when we add her cheeks as well, so. So I'm just squeezing parts in here because, as I've said earlier, this clay tends to shrink a lot, so it's advisable you probably squeeze it down more than is probably necessary, because it will shrink and it will pull away from clay, so you kinda, it's easily fixed if that does happen, so don't panic too much if it does happen. And that's about as much as I can do on the eyes for now. And I'm going to firstly make sure the cabochons are facing the right way. So I'm just going to press here. There you go. So just making sure the cabochons are, so it doesn't look particularly cross-eyed. And oh, that looks so morbid. Now I've not actually made the clay on her head big enough by the look of it, so I need to add bit more clay to her eyes there. That's a common mistake I make, so it's not the end of the world. And you just, again, very carefully, but at the same time rather morbidly. Ew. That's enough to give anyone the retches. I don't panic too much. She looks a little bit bug-eyed at the moment. She is getting a pair of eyelids and stuff like that, so don't worry too much about it. Oh, that really does look so gross. But it seems to me like the clay on this side is a little bit thin, so I'm going to take the whole eye off. And then I'm just going to smooth it down, and I'll be right back.